The Joe Rogan Experience.
That concerns, I think, classical liberals. And if that's how you would describe yourself, I don't know. To all of us in the political world, Joe Rogan's political leanings are like the great mystery. And frankly, we kind of like it that way. It makes you, it keeps you out of the fray.
It's more of a mystery now because I said that I wouldn't vote for Biden. That I said I would vote for Trump over Biden. All these people went crazy. But let me be clear. You know what? I'd also vote for Whoopi Goldberg over Joe Biden. I'd vote for Mike Tyson over Joe Biden. I just don't think it's a good idea to take someone who's struggling with dementia and put him in one of the most stressful positions the world has ever known. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not an endorsement of Trump. It is me saying you shouldn't have a man who's clearly in the throes of dementia. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but when you can't form sentences in public and you forget what you're talking about and you wander off into these conversations, if you're not smoking pot, you're not high, if you're not on pills, like what's going on? Well, there's cognitive decline. He's an older man that has mental issues. And, you know, not to be cruel to him, he's suffering medically. This is a real issue. And the Democrats want to sweep that under the rug. And Trump is already chewing him apart. He's already dismissing him. I mean, there is a recent thing that Kyle Kalinske posted a video on his Twitter talking about this is what happens when you don't discuss the elephant in the room. And it's Trump saying, he used to doing a press conference, and they asked him a question about something that Biden wrote. He goes, Biden didn't write that. He's like, he's that's a Democratic operative. He didn't read it. He probably doesn't even know what's going on right now. And he's gonna continue to do that. And it's such a vulnerable point. And I don't know why the Democrats thought it would be a good idea to take someone who's clearly got a problem. I mean, I don't want to be mean to the guy, but we've all seen it. That's not normal. It's not normal to forget, like when he's talking about the creator, and he literally loses what he's saying. He's like, the thing, like
misquoted the Declaration of Independence twice now. It's a very simple document. Like, I don't understand.
Well, there's a bunch of those things, like when he was talking about the cure and losing what he's saying, that you have to take care of the cure, and he's struggling. The guy's struggling. Yeah. He's tired. This is an extremely stressful process to run for president. And the idea that he's going to be able to get through this and be okay on the other side to run the country for 4, potentially 8 years is crazy.
Yeah. And on a more, from a policy perspective, if we're looking at the coronavirus in particular and the handling of it, this is obviously the subject of hot debate. There's plenty of bad faith journalists out there who continue, and politicians, including Pelosi, who continue to repeat that Trump has the deaths of thousands on his hands. I think that's a horrible, horrible overstatement. I mean, to say the least. It's just fundamentally not true. But we need to remember, Joe Biden just recently acknowledged that he now agrees with Trump's decision to close down travel from China in January. And I go through I've recorded a podcast. I almost have as many subscribers as you do now, I'm sure. No, I don't. Where I go through a timeline of what actually happened, right? Like, let's actually look into this debate in an objective way of who knew what and when, because you can criticize people for sure, because hindsight's 20/20. But it's important to put yourself in the moment and what we all knew at certain times when certain decisions were made. And I have to point out that back when we did this travel restriction from China in late January, at that same time, the World Health Organization was repeating Chinese claims in mid-January that this virus couldn't even be transmitted in human-to-human contact. And Trump was ripped apart for that. Biden ripped him apart for that. Biden continued to rip him apart for that up until a couple of weeks ago. So, these decisions saved countless lives. And it's pretty obvious that Biden, I mean, he said it, so of course it's obvious that he would have made a different decision. And we would be in a much different place right now. And to put aside all of the issues that you pointed out, those are certainly issues, and I don't need to repeat them. I don't need to go into it, but it's I
feel like we do need to repeat them. It is obvious, but that's crazy that this is the guy that's running for president. And then when people got upset at saying that, me saying that I'd probably vote for Trump before I'd vote for Biden. I'm literally saying I'd vote for anybody that can talk. I mean, anyone who's not in severe cognitive decline. I mean, pick a person. Shit, I'd vote for Hillary before I'd vote for him. Literally. I mean, I just think the poor guy shouldn't be in the position he's in. I don't understand why they're doing that. I mean, anyone else could have been Tulsi Gabbard, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg. Pick a person. They all would have been a better choice. I mean, this is crazy. And I don't know what their strategy is. I don't know why they decided to do this. It makes no sense to me. It's very, very confusing.